Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen related stuff. Today I'm going to take a look at GameGlass, previously known as SCPADD, an app that converts touchscreen devices into physical MFDs and controllers for Star Citizen and in the future other games too. I sat down with the guys who are creating the app for an interview, but I also want to go over some of the vital stats of the app first and what's happening with it. So GameGlass allows you to control functions for ships as if they were a physical multifunction display, which can be quite useful for quickly changing power, overclocking an item, locking or unlocking doors, changing where your shields are shielding. It also has reasonably good looking interfaces, and it should be seeing some improvements on that as well. It also has a host of other functionality for social and first-person shooter control, allowing you to have a well-supported solution for touchscreen devices, helping you with your Star Citizen experience. That's the idea of it anyway. GameGlass is designed for normal-sized tablets. They have plans for smaller devices as well, like phones and things. You'll also be able to use Kindles is the plan. Anything with Android or Windows operating systems should also be supported pretty well. GameGlass requires you to install a program on both the host device and the client touchscreen. It does not log your key presses. You can have multiple devices connected at once for many interactive screens. If you want loads of MFDs you can all touch. Input lag is around 2 to 3 milliseconds, so pretty negligible. The app has both a free version that supports Star Citizen and a subscription service for eventual added functionality. They also want the core features of any game they support to be free. They are currently working on an alpha and beta of the product for community use. The project is on IndieGoGo and is just about to break the $40,000 mark in backing in just 5 days, which is pretty damn good, seeing they originally only wanted $5,000. And that additional money coming to them a bit sooner than they expected, of what I suppose effectively equates to pre-orders for their service, should enable them to get some of their planned features in a bit quicker. Star Citizen will be a major focus of the app, with lots of additional functionality coming for the new gameplay loops, mining and the like, that sort of stuff. Let's jump into the interview, which was recorded a couple of days prior when they had just hit the $25,000 in support mark. Can you tell me who you are and what GameGlass and SCPADD are?
Sure. My name's Craig. I'm known as Draken, I guess, in our Discord and on some posts we've made. But SCPADD was originally created because I was looking for ways to control my game through a tablet interface. As a relatively new Star Citizen backer, I had some significant difficulties figuring out what was what and what did what, and it was just a mess. So I went out looking for something that could solve my problem, and I tried a few different things. I looked at RoCat first, and I couldn't find any support for that. And then I looked at the LIA extended input, and I tried to play with that a little bit, but I couldn't get it to connect. And when I tried to customize it, it didn't go so well. So I came across a product that was created by Mike, who is now part of the GameGlass team. And basically, it is an interface to control your host PC, so the game, so your Star Citizen PC with a tablet controller, and we're able to use it kind of as an API to send commands to your host PC. And all we needed to do was code up some HTML, JavaScript, and whatnot to get it to work and come up with a flashy design. So that's the first iteration of SCPADD, was just a nice design wrapped around Mike's product. And when I posted it on Reddit, it exploded, and we saw that there was a clear need for it. And that's actually kind of when Andy got in touch with me, and he had this vision for this bigger platform. So I guess this is a good time to kind of introduce him a little bit more and let him talk about his contributions to GameGlass.
So my name's Andy Lee, generally known as Andy Lee, and I'd been working on, I suppose, a platform for companion app experiences for games, something that would centralize them all in one spot. And it would be for games like Star Citizen and a lot of other games and a lot of very different types of games. But I'd been approaching it from the outside and I didn't have an actual game interface yet. And then I saw Craig's post for SCPAD and it was like a hand grenade went off in my brain. And I messaged him on Discord pretty much a couple of hours, I think, maybe after I saw it, and he was getting flooded with the community saying, "This is amazing. I want it. Can I have it? When can I have it? I want it now." And we just started chatting, and we kept talking over the next couple of weeks and tossing some ideas around. And behind the scenes, with myself and Mike and Craig decided to form GameGlass, and we kept it all very secret. It was still SCPAD at the time, and we wanted to try and manage that change of branding. And it was also at the same time planned to be more of a commercial project. Whereas Craig had originally envisaged SCPAD as a bit of a community project, I suppose, and driven a bit by donations, but very much a free, if you like it, that's amazing, but it's completely up to you kind of thing. What we were building was something much larger, and it was a service that would be continually updated. So we wanted to make it a commercial project so we had the resources to keep it up to date and to keep the quality where it needed to be. So working behind the scenes on building GameGlass and all of the identity and the business model and all of the boring business stuff until we got to the point where we could tell everyone about it and make that shift from what was a brilliant but only Star Citizen MFD project to something much, much broader.
Yeah, and since then we've actually added two more team members, Doc and Ron. They're working on the back end and the front end right now.
So SCPAD has become GameGlass now. It's been incorporated into GameGlass.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And does that also mean that GameGlass that's a subscription-based service it's going to be?
Yeah. That was a big shift for us. So essentially, all of what was SCPAD has become the Star Citizen experiences inside GameGlass, and obviously there'll be similar quality and level of immersion and intuitiveness experiences for other games. But SCPAD as the functionality you've seen, the screens you've seen, has all been folded into GameGlass. And the shift to subscription model was the most obvious and the most important way for us to make sure we could keep developing it. And it's especially important for a game. Star Citizen is almost a perfect example of why we need to do it, because it's still in development. A lot of the gameplay features, the big gameplay loops, just don't exist for us to play yet. So if you were to buy GameGlass for Star Citizen right now for a fixed amount of money and you owned it, and then salvage comes out or repair comes out or medical or any of those systems that don't exist in the game yet, we would then need to go back and update that. And obviously we need the resources to be able to continually keep these shards, these experiences for these games up to date and add new ones and tweak them as the games are expanded and expansion packs come out and new features come out. So that model of wanting to keep up with the games meant that we needed a way to make sure we had those resources to make it sustainable.
Yeah, and to add on to that, there is still going to be a free tier. I know that's probably one of the most asked questions right now. There is still a free tier. So everything you've seen and that was SCPAD is going to be a free experience within GameGlass. So we're talking about the flight systems that I've demoed already and the shields and combat shard as well, where you're going to do all your targeting and manage your shields and your power distribution. So all that will be free. Forever. So there's still going to be that free experience for a lot of users to get in the door and see if they like it. And there's probably going to be a trial as well for our subscription-based features. But yeah, as Andy said, there's many reasons for this to be a subscription-based product. We haven't released official pricing on it yet, but it will not be as much as a lot of people are estimating it will be.
So what sort of functionality are we talking about that you will start to incorporate in the future that you can foresee? Have you already got plans in the works? Why would I want to become a subscriber rather than just use the free service?
We have so many plans. We have quite a detailed roadmap for Star Citizen inside GameGlass. And it's a combination of really great experiences we think we need to add for Star Citizen itself and some features that we want to add for the platform generally. We're probably not in a place where we can talk about all of those, but we're certainly, if you were to think that the focus would be that there would always be new shards that we're working on for GameGlass and for Star Citizen, it would be, as I said before, things like repair and salvage and refueling. There'd be dedicated shards, or I suppose they're apps, but we call them shards just because apps is a really horrible word. And so there'll be those new ones coming on board really often as those gameplay loops come out from CI. Then we can start to build them into the game. And there's a lot of social experiences we want to start to add as well, that are related to how you play the game with friends, but not necessarily inside the game itself. So there's a lot of those kinds of features coming up soon that we're particularly excited about, but that we're particularly unable to tell you about yet.
Well, Andy, why don't you go over what our stretch goals have been so far in this campaign, and go into a little bit of what we talked about last night for the next stretch goal.
Yeah, so what we've focused on so we're in a bit of a tricky position for stretch goals because this is not a physical product where everyone gets the same one, and every stretch goal we hit means that product is upgraded with a new thing, a faster port, a better screen, whatever. So, and all these things are on our roadmap anyway, so it's not about doing something we were never going to do, it's about accelerating the development of something. Getting it done a lot sooner in some cases. One of the great things about what we have right now is a community of people who've been talking about SCPADD and thinking about it for quite a while. So we've had some really great feedback on the types of features they would like to see. So we went through that list. So the first of those is the ship data bank. So it's essentially a list of all of the data related to ships inside GameGlass. So it's a really quick reference guide, I suppose, for those ships. So imagine you're an explorer out there and you scan a target, you can see that it's a Cutlass Black, and you forgot, I can't remember what's that ship, how fast is it really nasty or is it not? You can quickly go to that shard inside GameGlass and look up the primary everything. It's not all the lore, it's not dozens of screenshots, but it's the key stuff maybe you need to know. It's how many hard points does it have, what weapons does it come stock with, how big are its shields, what's its SCM rate. So quick reference guides for ships. You could sort it by cargo capacity, for example. You're trying to run a mission, show me which of my ships has a certain amount of SCU so I can go and run the mission that I want to run. So lots of kind of defensive and offensive and utility purposes for a data bank like that. And we blew through that 10,000 stretch goal in extremely short order. And the next one was all about visual customization. And we have some more features for that we want to look at down the road. But for now, what we wanted to focus on was a combination of manufacturer-specific themes with colors and shapes and some bespoke animations as well for some of those you could overlay onto shards. And some simpler color shifts. If you just wanted a red hue through GameGlass or through Star Citizen, you could add that. So that ability to change those themes. The next one is, so this was one we're particularly excited about. So we've been thinking for a long time about mobile access for GameGlass and for Star Citizen in particular, obviously. And part of the problem is that for some phones, it's okay. I've got an iPhone 8 Plus and I think it's fine. I can tap what I need to tap. But for a lot of people, depending on where they put it around their monitor or in their rig, it's not the best solution size-wise. But we didn't just want to make a dumbed-down mobile version of these shards either. So we've got a new system that we're calling Fragments. And it is the coolest thing in the entire world. So essentially what it is we take a section of a shard, and a really great example of that is the Shields in Combat shard, which has 3 sections to it. It has power distribution, it has targeting, and it has shield management. Each of those 3 things we consider a single fragment. So you'll have a really easy interface for your mobile phone where you can pick single fragments and put them on your phone because their size, ironically, not at all deliberately, actually it's the opposite of that. They're sized very deliberately. They're sized very deliberately to fit on your mobile device. So you can take a single fragment and show it on your phone. And the really cool thing about that is if you've got multiple phones lying around, you've got old generation Android or iPhone devices, you can connect multiple devices to GameGlass and have them running at the same time and have different fragments running on each of them. So you could imagine a rig where you've got a few phones set up, almost sort of mirroring the MFD configuration in a Cuddy or in a Gladius, and you've got shields on this one and you've got power distribution on that one, and you can just reach out and tap them. And you can decide which fragments go on, and you don't have to pick from the shard. You can mix and match them across different shards as well, whatever you're trying to do. So that we're particularly excited about. So it's a way to get mobile-specific displays, but at the same time adding some functionality, adding that customization, adding that ability to pick what you want for your role. So it kind of fits with your setup and your mission objectives. And the final thing about that one is it fits really nicely for some tablet features we want to add as well. So for your normal tablet size screen, we're building in essentially a dashboard where you could add multiple fragments to a single screen on the tablet. So they'd be side by side. At the moment, we're planning for two for now, maybe three, depending on the size, but two for now. And you can pick any two fragments again. So you can build essentially your own custom screen with the fragments and some of the functionality that you want for whatever it is you're trying to do.
Okay, so can you tell me about any input latency that the devices cause?
Yeah, so we're looking at right now about 2 to 3 milliseconds. So when a user connects to GameGlass, what's happening is our servers it is sending them the screen, so what you're going to see visually. But as far as the connection made to your gaming PC, that's all done through the local network, so it is not reliant on our server whatsoever. So we're looking at 2 to 3 milliseconds right now. I think there's a little bit of room for optimization, but that's, you're not even going to notice 2 to 3 milliseconds.
Okay, and what about customization of the interfaces? I know I can have multiple devices up to a certain limit with lots of different, like I can have power on one, systems on another, or weapons on another, or I can switch between them or whatever. But will I be able to customize these button setups at all?
So as to what Andy was talking about with the fragments, so that's our first release of the customization aspect of this. Okay. There might be some more features down the road that we want to do for customization. As for the specific fragments right now, we're not going to be allowing the ability to modify them, change the button layouts of your shields or your power distribution because you want, shields in one place and then weapons in a different place. But for now, it's just going to be the ability to customize a dashboard with specific fragments and have those fragments on mobile devices.
At the moment, what other games are you thinking of supporting?
I could tell you, but you couldn't tell anyone else. So if you'd like to know.
It's being recorded, so let's not do that. But you have some specific games that you have in mind.
Yeah, we do. So really, really early on, we made a list of what we thought were really great games that we thought we could create some really wonderful experiences for that suited what GameGlass could offer people. And it's not every game. Some games are particularly well suited. Any game that is deep and complex and really benefits from surfacing some of those mechanics in a more intuitive and immersive way, they're really good options for GameGlass.
So are we looking at sort of potentially flight sims, things with lots of buttons? Is that yes, what we're looking at?
Yes. I think if you were to safely say space sims and flight sims, they are very high on our list of games we intend to support. But even games, RPGs and MMOs are on our list of potential games that we could support. There's even a couple of MOBAs that we've got some really great experiences we're designing for. So it's a really broad range of games. Flight sims and space sims, though, are a really obvious one that we definitely intend to add a fairly broad collection of to the platform.
And will that eventually have you focusing on multiple sort of games simultaneously? Will you have individual team members looking at like Star Citizen and someone else looking at MOBAs or whatever? How will that be dealt with? Basically, I'm sort of asking, will Star Citizen continue to be a focus in the future?
That's a topic near and dear to Craig's heart. Maybe you want to have a chat about that one.
Yeah, I mean, this project was created for Star Citizen. There's a huge passion from all of our team members with Star Citizen. Everybody on our team so far has found us through the community. So we're really excited to be working with them because they're so passionate about Star Citizen as well. The plan is 100% to be focusing on Star Citizen from now moving forward, and we're always going to have updates and people working on it and people talking to the community. And it's not going to be something where we're just releasing it and then we're done with it. It means a little too much to us for us to just work on something and then just part ways with it. So it's very near and dear to my heart, especially because this was created out of love for the community. And that's what I want to continue to strive to accomplish is making sure the community is happy with this project.
I think a good just on that, I think a good way to think of it is that our focus may think there's a really core set of shards and experiences we want to build for Star Citizen, and we're really keen and excited to get it to that point where we think it's a really great rounded out set of features. But there'll be a good point where we can say that we just don't have enough gameplay loops in the game right now to keep going, to add the things we want to add. So that's probably a really good time that we'd go and look at implementing the first couple of these other games, but would always be able to go back. And it's looking at what new things have come out for the games that we support and thinking about what new experiences and shards do we think we can add to support those. And our focus will shift around. And we're definitely planning around having multiple teams so we can develop shards, relatively independently and in parallel. But we want to get to the point where we've got a really nice suite of games in there. And that's what sort of the GameGlass subscription is for, really. It's for all of those games that we support. You'll have one option. If you just want Star Citizen, you can subscribe to just Star Citizen per month for a tiny, tiny fee. But the other option is essentially an annual plan where you get all the games, all the shards, all the features, and you don't have to pick and choose. You just get everything unlocked for a single, again, quite low, surprisingly low, I think, for people, annual subscription.
At a time of recording, you've been funded over 26,000 for your product, people purchasing licenses and such on IndieGoGo. Did you think it was going to get this big, and was it 3 days?
No. Like I said, I started this as just a little side project, and in a month, we grew our team to 5 and maybe 6 people. And we rebranded, I've launched 2 websites in the last month. We've done tons of different videos, launched this IndieGoGo campaign. I think it took us 3 days of no sleep to put it together. And boy, we didn't expect this. This is a huge surprise to us. We are very, very humbled by it and very excited for what we can do with it. But absolutely not. We did not expect this, no.
And what does it support offline mode, or do you have to be online to use it, log into your account? And what devices and OSs does it support?
So the best way to explain the basic architecture is you'll create a free account online, and then you'll download a piece of software that you install to your PC. It'll be just PC initially, but coming for Mac down the road. And you'll install that piece of software, connect it in a really easy way to your tablet device over your local network, Wi-Fi. USB is likely to be very possible for us as well. And then you'll pick the game. You'll start up GameGlass. You'll start up GameGlass on your tablet and pick the game you want to play. Pick the shard you'd like to use, and it will download from our server the interface for that, essentially. But once it's downloaded the interface, all your commands go straight to your game. There's no round trip of your key presses to our server and then back to your game. They go straight from your device into the game. And that was particularly important for security reasons, so we don't have any records of any of the buttons you press. We don't want that. We don't need that. And for latency reasons, there's no round trip delaying your input. It goes straight from your device over your wireless network. It's super quick and right to your game. But the other thing that does is when you first download that interface, periodically it will poll, it'll ask our server, is there a new update for this shard? Have you changed the buttons? Have you moved things around a little bit and added some polish? And it'll download that new version of the shard interface for you. But if it can't reach the server for whatever reason, if your internet's not connected or it goes down, it will just gracefully say, that's cool, you can just use what you've got and it'll work essentially offline for you. Once you've done that first sign in essentially to your account. So you do have to sign in at some stage over the internet, but we're definitely building around the fact that we don't need you to be connected to the internet 100% of the time.
Can I ask the biggest question, which is when? When can I use this for Star Citizen? When can I get free version, not free version, whatever? When?
Soon, sooner than you think.
Yep. So we're doing alpha. Actually, we're looking at the beginning of February for some of the tiers on IndieGoGo, as well as our visionaries that we've had that are our earliest backers from when we were SCPADD, and we were a week old.
And that's your
So
79 plus Patreon backers and donators?
That's right. Yes, those will have access to alpha. Yes. So that we're looking at beginning of February. Depending on how things go, we're hoping to have a beta out maybe a month later, and then release. These are always hard things to judge, but we want to say release would be about a month or so after our beta.
So we're fairly confident about we're fairly confident about Feb for alpha and March for the beta. And obviously, depending on how we go with testing and bugs and feedback, we'll be able to announce a release date after that, but very soon.
Okay, that'll be an exciting update if it goes live around 3.5's release with the new flight model.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, isn't it?
Okay. Was there anything else you'd like to talk about or specifically highlight or outline?
I would just like to mention our visionary backers, I suppose, just a little bit more. They had really early faith in SE very early. Didn't really know Craig and I. They didn't know GameGlass was looming. They didn't know any of that. They just really thought that SCPADD looked really cool and they wanted to help make it a reality. So we're really grateful for that really early support. And, they put their money where their mouth is and they've provided some amazing feedback. So those early Patreon visionary backers were really a great thing to help propel us forward. And this IndieGoGo campaign, all from that is going straight into the product. It's there to get features done earlier. It's to bump up the quality in a few areas, just with some extra layers of polish. So every single cent that people have backed is going straight into that product and to our developers.
And is GameGlass now a full-time project for you guys, or is it a part-time project? Is it being treated as like its own full-on business?
It's definitely a full-on business. It's set up as a full-on business, and it is pretty much full-time right now, just the way things are going. And we're obviously we're hoping that everyone will be able to support themselves out of this. That Craig and I and the development team and the new members we'd like to add in the future, that this will be their career, and we'd love to build it to the point where we can sustainably make these really amazing shard experiences for a ton of games. That's why we've chosen the model we've chosen, and that's absolutely the intent is that it is a very ongoing concern and not just a little side project at all.
I've seen there's pictures of No Man's Sky in the background on your website.
Did you pick that up? Did you? Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just making sure I look through all the pictures.
Funny about that.
Clever man, boy. Okay. Interesting.
No comment about that one at all.
Yeah.
Yet.
Nothing.
No, we do intend to announce the first game that we want to add next, and we intend to announce that during this campaign. And we think a lot of the people who play Star Citizen will perhaps also enjoy this game. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Not saying it's anything specific or the one you just said, but yeah, that's where we're going to leave that.
And how influenced actually is the project from the community? Is it sort of like you take community suggestions and iterate on them, or is there more of a master plan and vision that you have?
Both, but it is significantly community driven. The feedback that we get, we really take to heart, and we talk about it constantly. Discord's a great place to suggest features. A lot of people keep suggesting features that we already have planned, but there's a lot of really new and great ideas that people come up with. And especially with our visionaries, what we do is we release some early prototypes and design ideas and really chat through what we're trying to accomplish with them. And we're able to get this amazing feedback and really form a product that a lot of people are happy with, that just goes beyond our team. So yes, it's very community driven, but we do also have a lot of goals and visions on our own that we'd like to implement.
No worries. Anything else you'd like to outline or talk about?
I mean, I think that's pretty much it. I guess if they want to learn more, we're gonna have we're constantly updating our IndieGoGo campaign with updates. So you can stay in touch there. You can stay in touch with us on Discord. The website's GameGlass.gg, so you can find some more information there as well. And I will be doing a stream on Sunday. I believe it's twitch.tv/GameGlass. You can find it there. I have yet to release a time for that, so just stay tuned for that. I'll announce it on Discord as well as our website. And I'll be demoing what we've got done so far for GameGlass and answering everybody's questions.
That's a really good point. Is the Twitch we're planning for this weekend will be a chance for everyone to see GameGlass really, truly in action.
And where's that Twitch again? Where's that Twitch address?
It's twitch.tv/GameGlass.
Boom. Plug.
And Craig will be using it. Standard operating procedure for these Twitch streams is Craig dies all the time to everything. Inanimate objects kill him, animate objects kill him, NPCs kill him, PCs kill him.
It's horrible. I can never have an experience that actually is lasts more than or actually I accomplish anything in. So it's always fun to watch me and my shenanigans on not really getting anything accomplished. But I answer lots of questions, so that's the most important part, I think.
One last thing I'd like to mention as well is that GameGlass is not just Craig and I. We've got a really amazing team of 4 other people at the moment. We've just added a new one to a new front end developer, Craig. So it's we just added a new front end developer to that, Alfredo, along with the current team as well, with Doc and Mike and Ron. So there's a whole team of people building Star Citizen behind the scenes, working on the platform and the actual interface screens that you see. So that we really want to give a shout out to that team who are working their butts off to get this done for everyone as soon as they can.
Every month we have a giveaway for a Star Citizen ship. For January, we have a standalone Anvil Carrack, the mighty explorer vessel. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and then comment on any of my videos released during the month. You can find more details in the comments below. If you don't have a gaming PC yet or you are upgrading, instead consider Shadow Cloud Gaming. They allow you to leverage the powers of the internet to stream a high-spec Windows 10 environment to any other PC, Mac or device like a smartphone or tablet. It is working really well in Star Citizen's 3.4 branch, and be sure to use the code BoredGamer if you do decide to check it out to get a discount. Links below. For those of you wanting to support the channel further, there is Patreon, and I will be looking for an alternative platform as well for people that have requested that. But in addition, or as an alternative to that at the moment, there's the YouTube channel memberships, literally the join button below this video, or direct donations via the links below as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help me. Any feedback or opinions is greatly appreciated and helps guide the channel working out what content is a good idea to put out next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.